Hello guys, welcome to my channel. It's Joff here. I'm just gonna have a little chat with you about how I feel about some sort of things in life. Now, I just feel because as we as a generation get older, a lot of things happen and we start losing people around us, which is really hard and it's difficult. I understand that, but I just think sometimes we need to start looking out for one another. Um, yes, we can disagree with people and have different opinions on people and see things differently. I mean, me and my sister, we see things differently, and a lot of time we don't get on, but we're there for each other because we're family and it's all we have. We only have each other, so we need to start looking out for one another. Um, you can disagree with people. Um, you can sort of fall out with people, but ultimately, you need to be there for each other. Just because it's all we have. It's like when someone passes. Um, some people can then sort of feel lost and alone and don't have anyone. So that's when they need you. You know, we need to be there for one another. Like, if anything happened to me and my sister, my son would be pretty much quite alone. And I would hope to think that my friends would be there for him because we need to be there for one another, guys. We just need to look out for one another and sort of put things into perspective in life. When you lose someone, when people feel sad and down, what they're feeling sad and down about is their own feelings, not the person that's actually gone. It's how they feel. Well, oh, not going to see that person again. So that's why people feel sad and down. And I feel people again. Then they start to get lost in their own kind of sadness. And if you've got each other, you can help bring each other out of that sadness. Because if you think about things properly, when you lose someone, they haven't gone. They're still there because they've left behind them a trail of memories, of a footprint, and in people's lives, and influenced you in people in many ways. So they are still here, um, but you actually only mourn not being able to see the physical person again. Uh, I mean, for example, I know it's a bit silly, but like David Bowie, I mean, he's still here. He's in my room. He's in my house. I have his music. I have his concerts. I sit and watch and I listen to them. So I keep his spirit and his life alive. Although physically, as a human being, he's no longer here, and we mourn that and we miss that. We still have the opportunity to celebrate the fact that that person was a part of our lives. So that's what you do with loved ones. You celebrate that they're a part of your life. And so what I say to you is celebrate them now while they're here with you as well. Instead of like waiting until something bad's happened and then you remember all the good things and then you miss um, them physically, or then you start thinking, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. Well, do that, you know, just do it while you can and just look out for one another. Um, because it's like I get quite contacted quite a few times by a number of friends that feel a bit low and down, and I try to speak with them to put things in some sort of perspective. Like, yeah, it's very hard on your own feelings of not being able to see or doing it with that person again, but look at what you have done with that person, celebrate that, and think that what you brought to that person's life is going to be warming and rewarding to you, which will help you cope with that loss. And yes, of course, I mourn that physical presence. That's normal, you know. I've lost both my parents, my grandparents. I have my son and my sister, and that's it. I have nobody else. Um, so I know I know how it feels because I'm also been in a situation, but a lot of that is just you trying to deal with how am I going to cope with that person not being there anymore. Um, you cope with it by remembering that person was with you and what you brought to their life and what they brought to yours, and make their life a bit of a celebration. It doesn't have to be people. It can be a dog. It can be a cat. It can be a spider. If something really meant the world to you, think, oh, so remember getting that dog. I remember the day I picked him up and, for the first time, and you remember the joy and the love that that dog brought to your life, and you celebrate that. And you think, I'm so lucky to have had that in my life, and I'm so lucky to have that opportunity, so I'm going to be grateful for that and make that make me stronger for that, and I'm going to be that little bit more understanding and caring to others, um, for that, because I want that person's life to have mattered, and it matters if you do something good with that. Something good can always come out of something sad, and I always think, when you have a sad experience, look back at what that person gave you and think to yourself, well, what can I do now to sort of make that person's memory or make them proud that their life meant something. So you can do that by thinking, I'm going to be that little bit nicer today. I'm going to be that little bit closer to my family. Not today, but always, not just for one day. Try and make those things sort of shape yourself a bit into being a more sort of understanding, caring, and dare I say it, kind person. You're still going to disagree with people. Like I said, I disagree with my sister a lot because we're different people, and she has a different way of thinking as I do. It doesn't mean that she's right or wrong, or I'm right or wrong. We're both right or wrong, and that's the way it is. But you got to think, when it comes down to it, though, just be there. Just be there for one another. Just be there for people around you. It doesn't have to be family. It can be friends. Okay, like say if something happens and you're the only person remaining left in that family, you need friends. But the friends of the people that are passed could be your, look out for them too. Like I was saying to you, if anything happened to me, if my son was on his own, I would really hope my friends would keep an eye on him for me. You know, keep a lookout for him, because he was a part of me. And if you liked me, then like my son, and let him have that sort of comfort from your own kindness. So that's all I'm saying, really, guys. Is just be kind to one another, um, and it makes the world a much better place. There's enough um, bad things happening in the world with war and politics and bills and the way the sort of government are robbing us all blind, of our money. So we're all worrying. We're all sort of thinking, oh, how are we going to get through? How are we going to survive this? How can I afford all this? If I've got to do all this, I've got to stop doing the things I like now because I can't afford to do them. Um, so what you do is look out for one another, and as a group of people, you find things that you can do together. That you change your ways a bit. You find other ways of doing things. Like I love going to concerts and things like that, but they're out of my price range now, and I don't have extra money to do that sort of thing. Um, so I find other things. So, like collecting my little spiders and things, because it gives me other interests to do. It sort of evolving, not replacing, but evolving as your life goes on, because life does change as you go on. You know, I have my memories. I wear them on my skin. You know, yeah, they might all be film and music based and things like that. You know, but um, they are who I've been. You know, I've got tattoos up here. There's Shane McGowan over there. There's my son there. You know, and all these things are part of me. So I wear them to remind me. I don't have these tattoos for anyone but me. They're my reminder of things that I've loved in my life, and so that sort of really helps me. Um, so all I'm trying to say to you is, although things are difficult out there, there's one thing they can't take away from us. That's each other. Look after yourselves.